If you load up Call of Duty right now, a modern Call of Duty game, Black Ops 7, Black Ops 6, whatever it may be, right? If you get in a gunfight and you lose it, more than likely the person's not better than you. And it's literally because they decided to slide. And to be honest with you, it's probably an 8-year-old that pressed it by accident. Listen, today's question is, what movement should Call of Duty stick with moving forward? Now, this is just a hypothetical, but should they stick with the older movement, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 type movement, or should they stick with the modern movement? Now, the correct answer is somewhere in the middle. I feel like having a middle ground is the great way to go, but if we can only choose one, me personally, and I benefit from the new modern movement, I think we should stick to the OG. Let me know in the comments how you feel about it and why. I'm very curious to know. I've personally been playing Call of Duty for more than 15 years, so when it comes to this topic and just the direction of Call of Duty, I feel very inclined to talk about it just because I feel so passionately about this game. And with these Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 ports, they really reminded me of what Call of Duty used to be. And I'm not trying to sound like an old head because I do love the modern Call of Duties. I think Black Ops 6 was an amazing game. Black Ops 7 was just a part 2 of Black Ops 6, so an extension, a good game, but nothing too crazy. And to be honest with you, Call of Duty has kind of gotten into this realm where it's like a boxing movie. Like imagine watching Creed 1, 2, and 3. You already know what's going to happen. They just add a little bit of some different stuff in there to kind of make it exciting. And then it wears away after 1 or 2 watches. And we know what we're getting. We're getting, boots on the ground at times. Now, one thing I do think Call of Duty should remove entirely, and this is just me being honest, I don't think wall jumping should be in the game at all. There's just no reason to be wall jumping. Yes, I do benefit from it. And yes, at times it does come in handy. In fact, I actually hit a trick shot in Black Ops 7 a couple weeks ago where I jumped off the truck and hit a triple. I lost my shit. But even then, I was like, alright, that was OD. Especially during Infinite Warfare. When Infinite Warfare came out and we were in the sky for that long, I was like, alright, what are we doing? This is crazy. This is just too much. Now, they did scale it back a little bit. They listened to the community. And we got what it is today. And I am a fan of the slide canceling as well. Because, again, I am a movement demon at times. But if we're being completely honest, man, Call of Duty has gotten away from just overall skill level and IQ. And more so, chance. All your gunfights you're winning it by chance. And for the most part, when you're playing Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, you really got to work hard for what you got. You got to work hard for your 40, 50, 60, 70 piece. In the modern Call of Duties, and again, I benefit from that movement so much. I can drop 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 with the ease. With the ease if I'm locked in. Now, when it comes to Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, I'm struggling hard as hell. And I'm probably washed now, and that's probably why I'm ranting right now. But to be honest with you, I just miss what Call of Duty used to be. It's the simplicity of the game that allows it to be played over and over and over again. We don't need all these massive headaches for different reasons. Look at Black Ops 2 for this gameplay, for example. We got a good selection of guns. You can't go wrong with any gun at all. You can use whatever you want, no matter the attachments. Granted, the attachments do play an important piece. But if you're getting in a gunfight, you're upright. And the most moving you're gonna do is a jump shot or a drop shot. I miss when those were the days. Now, in my last video, when I was playing Nuketown, if you saw, I hit a dolphin dive for cover and end up getting a headshot and saving my own life. That dolphin dive is very strategic. For the most part, it's a very fun mechanism in the game. It's not really used too much in a gunfight sense, but when you can pull it off, you're like, yeah, I did that. Now, with the modern Call of Duties, they're really letting the younger kids, they're really letting the people who are not as good at the game feel like they're good at the game. They're running around in circles, jumping around, and then they have whatever they got and just moving all over the place. And that's cool, right? Because, again, I have fun doing that at times. But when you're on a kill streak and a 10-year-old kills you because they decided to slide cancel on you, it is a little bit frustrating. Now, granted, you could say, yo, that was my fault. And to be honest with you, that is my fault. But there's just no way in hell where I can accept that. And again, the correct answer is somewhere in the middle. We can go about it on and on and on and on and on. But I feel like just how there's a button layout where you use default or tactical or southpaw, there should be, maybe some lobbies in the future. And they kind of did it with Black Ops 7, where you got OG movement and you got modern movement. I think that was a really great idea because everybody has different play styles. If you're watching this gameplay right now, Black Ops 2, I'm moving around, and it's not too much of me just kind of doing anything too crazy. It's me just boots on the ground. I think the simplicity, again, is what leads to the game wanting to be played more and more and more. We can get into the maps. We can get into the type of class setup, the pick 10 class. But keeping it simple and not doing too much is what leads to player retention. You don't need these massive headaches. You don't need to reinvent the wheel too much. And I feel like when you do that, you take away from what's actually working from the game. And to be honest with you, the movement was pretty good. One of the biggest problems we've been having lately in Call of Duty is, for the most part, is the fact that the maps are pretty trash. Once we can get the map problem back together, everything will be extremely solid. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a big fan of omnimovement. I really think they should keep omnimovement, but for the most part, man, I think we need to scale back just a tiny bit because it does get a little bit of OD. I mean, when you're jumping around backwards and you're able to hit just a regular, just random shot just because you just got lucky, now that's the type of shit we can't have in the game. For the most part, if you're playing in the old movement, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and anything prior, even CoD4, your opponent's predictability is a lot more in your rear view. It's a lot more in your face. You know what's about to happen. They only got a couple of choices, and they cannot move outside that framework. It's like a boxing match. You're in the ring. They can't go anywhere else. They're in the ring, and there's 4 corners. That's all you got. Now, when it comes to, the modern movement, it's like you're fighting in the street. You can go anywhere. You can get into the bar. You can get into the alley. You can go across the street, on top of the car, below the car. It's all over the place. And it takes away from players having this gimmick about them of, oh, I can move really, really fast. My sensitivity is all the way to 100. And I'm just moving around willy-nilly and getting lucky. It removes that aspect of the game and more so for a more competitive game. When you go to the park and you're hooping and there's the real hoopers in there and it's about to get down for real. And then there's times where you go to the park and there's people who play casually and they're just messing around willy-nilly, playing real free. Ain't nothing too crazy. It's not serious. You don't really hold too much weight into that type of game. You hold more weight to the games where everybody's really invested and everybody's really trying. And to be completely honest with you, this is just another point. I feel like the new modern movement has really changed the map designing. And we've all been complaining about the maps for I don't know how long now. The maps used to be simple back then. And because they were simple, the movement and the playstyle allowed for everything to just feel so perfectly. Nowadays, because you got to take into consideration so many different things, you got to take into consideration the mantle, moving through a ladder, etc., whatever the case may be. There's just so much on their plate to focus on that they just cannot handle it. And maybe if we had the older developers back in this old era of CoD, that it was something that they can handle. But with these new developers, man, they just don't seem to have it. And that's fine to accept that you just don't have it like that. You just got to, adapt to what works. And I think stripping it back can help them get into better maps. Overall, better maps, more playability, makes more player retention. It makes you want to hop on and not want to just blow your brains out. I never want to play in Piccadilly ever again, nor do I have to. If they remaster that map, I will lose my shit. Especially if you add the Omni movement in there, I will probably delete the game. And that's just being 100 with you. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, also when you're talking about sniping, oh my god, I missed how hard it was to snipe. And you felt so much gratification because you just can't have this gimmick to it. Again, I hit a trick shot the other day where I jumped off the truck and hit a triple. Insane. For the most part, man, sniping had a real skill to it, and it still does. But you can really get away with all the running around, and it does lead to some really cool clips at times. But when you're sniping in Black Ops 1, you know you are the shit. That is an extreme level of sniping. And anybody who has a montage to Black Ops 1 sniping, you know they were them for sure. For sure. There's no way in hell you can deny that. And me, I'm just a big fan of, let's get to this competitive nature of the game again. Let's get to the game feeling like everything mattered, where you really had to try and your brain is really fried up. And at times, look, if you're watching this gameplay, I feel really washed watching myself. I feel really washed playing the game. Occasionally, I will go off and I feel so much accomplished. When I play Black Ops 6 or Black Ops 7, I can have multiple games where I'm doing well back to back to back, and I get bored after 3 games because it's just too easy for me. But me not knowing what my next best game is for the older CODs, it makes me want to play more. Because what do you mean I can't have a good game? I can't leave the game not having a good game. I can't leave the game playing trash. I have to end on a good note. And then once you hit a good note, you're like, alright, I gotta keep it going. So for the most part, man, if I had to choose one, it would be the older Call of Duty movement. I feel like the simplicity of it really leads to a simple game, leads to more player just wanting to play more. And I think that's the overall goal of Call of Duty. Let me know in the comments how you feel about it.